Hey, and welcome back to my channel. It's been a little bit since I've updated you on my pregnancy. We just got new Wi-Fi, and our Wi-Fi literally took like 6 hours to upload a video. So, and then long story, but that's why it took so long. So I am 35 weeks. I will be 36 weeks on Friday, which is 2 days away. So really this is like a 36 week update. So there hasn't been a bunch of changes really. I go to the doctor every week now. So tomorrow will be my first weekly appointment, and then I'll go back next week, and then I will deliver on June 5th. So I scheduled my C-section. Well, they scheduled it really for June 5th at noon. So that will give us, we're pretty much 2 weeks away, which is literally insane to think about because it's just like insane that I'm going to have 2 more kids in 2 more weeks. But it still like isn't real yet. And sometimes when I say that to people, it's like, oh, what do you mean? Like, how is it not real? Or why does it not feel real? And it's just like, I am fully aware that there's 2 children inside my womb right now. Like, I understand it, but I don't think it'll hit me until I actually have 2 kids in my hands. So yeah, it's just weird. And maybe you are knowing what I'm talking about and you're like, I've been there, done that. So yeah, a couple things that I have been dealing with since the last time I've updated you guys, which I think was a 30-week or 32-week vlog. My dog just jumped up here. Is super swollen. Like, I'm super swollen. Not like my hands have been a little bit, but 98% of the time it's my feet. And when I say like extremely swollen, I mean like extremely swollen. Like my feet, like the actual like face of my, like right before your toes of your foot swells up higher than like my feet, or my toes, sorry. So it's like this. It's like, it's crazy. We went for maternity pictures on Friday, so just like a couple of days ago kind of thing, less than a week ago, and my feet were so swollen that they were not able to fit into the sandals that I wanted to wear. Just slip-on sandals, no heels, like no cute booties, like literally just sandals. And so I had to wear my slippers. I think I had my slippers on for like 1 or 2 pictures. Luckily it was like extremely nice, so I was barefoot pretty much the whole time. So I have hiccups. So like I said, extreme swollenness. I do have some, it's super weird. On my last video, I could see you commenting on it, but every time I went back to reply to the comments, there was none. So I don't know if I messed something up on the video when I was uploading it or what, but someone asked if I have any stretch marks, and I do. I do. They kind of start like right above my butt, and they go in around my hips and then up the front of my stomach on both sides of my belly button. They're not like extremely terrible. I have seen some that look literally like you're getting scratched down, and they're not like that. They are kind of like a brown color. They're not like super red or pink or purple or anything like that. It's just kind of like a dull brown color, which is kind of odd. I don't know. But yeah, other than that, that's the only place I've gotten stretch marks that I can see so far. When I stand up, I cannot see anything below, so I do not know. I go back to the doctor tomorrow in the morning, and they're gonna do a strip test or something. I don't even know. Usually they check for some type of, maybe it's a bacteria, I don't know, right before you're going to have a vaginal birth. Obviously I'm not having a vaginal birth, so I don't really know why it's needed. But they said they're going to do it, so they're gonna be looking at my hoochie coochie tomorrow. So that's going on tomorrow. what else has been going on? It's been really hard to sleep. I will get up, like the last couple days I've gotten up at like, usually go to sleep at like 10, no, I lied. Usually like 11:30, 12 o'clock. Like a month ago I was able to push it out to like 1 or 2 a.m. in the morning and hang out with Cody after our daughter had went to bed and kind of have like him and I time. But recently I've been extremely exhausted, so I go to bed a little bit earlier. But I'll wake up obviously like every hour on the hour to go pee. But I have been getting up at like 4 a.m. like the last like couple days. And like last night I got up to go to the bathroom, and then I came back down and laid down and fell asleep for maybe like 45 minutes. And I woke up at like 4:15, and I wasn't like comfortable. My back hurt. Like it just is exhausting, kind of. It's almost exhausting to sleep because you have to put so much energy into getting comfortable, and it's just not. So I woke up at like 4:15 last night, and I went out and I started watching Vanderpump Rules, which is like my guilty pleasure right now. I love that show in general, but that's like a rerun that you're able to watch, and I like it. So, and then I was sitting there watching Vanderpump Rules literally like 4:15 this morning, and then I made a box of shells and cheese from Aldi, and if you've had those, you know they're so much better than Velveeta. So that's what I did last night, and then I stayed up until like 7. Cody got up to go to work, and then I went back to bed. And then I slept till about 10. So the sleeping has been scarce, and I know I'm gonna punch myself in the face for it in a couple weeks because sleeping is going to be non-existent. But it'll, work out for it's better. And it's kind of nice to have that alone time. Like when Ella was like 1 or 2 and she was still waking up like a couple hours in the nighttime. Not a couple hours. When she would go to bed at like 8 and then wake up again at like midnight to, change your diaper or whatever like that. It was always nice to have like those couple hours to yourself after your toddler or your baby or whatever went to bed, kind of like a me time, like downtime. And I guess I kind of have switched it. Instead of going, like having that time right after Ella goes to sleep, I have it like a couple hours before everyone gets up and the house is quiet, and I snuggle on the couch with my dogs. So yeah, that's what's been going on with that. So sleeping, stretch marks. Oh, someone else asked me weight gain. Obviously, normally I wouldn't like comment on weight gain or anything like that, but I am 200 pounds, which I'm not like upset to say about. I jokingly, every time I come back from the doctor, I come into the house and I'm like, Cody, I am 100 and blah 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 pounds. Or like I'll go over to his parents' house and I'm like, guess how much I weigh? And then they'll guess, obviously, and I'm like, nope, I'm 200 pounds. Literally last week when I was there, I was 196 pounds, I think. Which, I'm growing 2 babies. I was 130-ish. My very first appointment with my babies back in November. So, I've packed it on, but honestly, it's a lot. It's just like my stomach. Obviously, it's been dispersed to other places as well. But I obviously see it a little bit in my face. Usually my face has been always a little bit chunkier because I have really full cheeks in general. But obviously a little bit has gone to my face and, this part of my body. But other than that, it's mostly stomach, which whatever. I'm growing 2 humans and still trying to feed them and please them while trying to still feed me. And I'm not ashamed of it, and it's fine. And honestly, I'm like 200 pounds, which is like cool, I think. So I'll probably hopefully never be able to say that again in my life. Normally I'm just like a petite little 5-foot person, but so it's different, but it has been harder, but because it does put more strain on my body, but I don't care. It's okay. What else? I was trying to think of the questions. So please, you're gonna knock it over, okay? So I honestly have been doing like great so far. When I was at the doctor a month ago I had lost my mucus plug, and I told her that, and then I laid back to have her measure the width or the height of my, not the height, the length of my stomach, like my uterus really. And she was like, oh, you're having contractions right now, which obviously isn't super uncommon because I was laying back, stretching out my uterus. But I had a couple at the doctor's office, and then I had none until a couple days ago. Today is Wednesday, so it was Monday night at like 1 a.m. and I was laying in bed. I just went to the restroom, and I came back and laid in bed, and why are you not listening? Please don't, because you or him are gonna knock it over. I went to the restroom, and I came and laid back down, and obviously my dog just laid down. Like it kind of like I do feel kind of crampy. Anyways, after using the restroom, because my bladder just held all that water, or urine or whatever, so I came back and laid down, and like I said, it's not unusual for me to feel a little bit crampy after. So I was laying there, and like a couple minutes had went by, and I still was feeling them, and I was like, okay, well, that's weird. And so I laid down. We're still laying down, and like 4 or 5 minutes went by, and then another one came, and I was like, oh no. Here we go. Oh no. So literally like 20 minutes went by. It was like 1:30 at this time, and no, not right now, not done. It was like 1:30, so it had been going on for about 20. Can you quit? Because you're picking your nose. Stop. So like 20 minutes had gone by, and it was like 1:30, and I had another one. And I was like, okay. So, Cody and Ella were laying in bed. So I got up, and I got a thing of water, and I went and laid on the couch, and I started to watch Vanderpump Rules, which, I love it, whatever. And within like 15 minutes, I had like 2 or 3 more. And I was like, here we go. They're coming early, like I was sure. I was sure. And then, I was sure because, hang on. And then literally I was up, then it was like 3 o'clock. So we went from 1:30 to about 3 o'clock, consistent, every 4, 5, 6 minutes, contractions. Not super intense, but just like mild, and it was about 3, and I still was having them, and they were picking up, and I was like, okay, well, I'm gonna go sit in the bath for a few minutes. Luckily, it's like it's a kid's bathroom, so it was on the other side of the house, so I was able just like to be quiet and away from everyone, so I didn't wake anyone up. And I was laying in the bath. I think I laid in the bath for about an hour, and I was having consistent contractions still. And I'm sitting in the bath, and I'm like, oh my gosh, Ella's bag's not packed. Cody has workers coming in a few hours to go to work. He's doing this huge project right now. If you don't know, Cody does landscaping. So he has this huge retaining wall job and patio job that he's in the process. Can you not interrupt me, please? That he's doing right now. And I was contemplating in my head, like, am I gonna have to wake him up and tell him to not go to work this morning? Like I don't want him to wake up. So a lot of it was going in my head. And so I was like, I'm wasting time in the bath. So at 4-ish, I got out of the bath, and I went into Ella's room, and I packed her suitcase to get ready to go to my mom's house, or not to go to my mom's house, for my mom's house, when obviously we're in the hospital. And then I had them up until about 7 o'clock, and at that point, I still had not slept at all that night, besides maybe like 30 minutes, because they started at like 1. So at 7 o'clock, I could not bear to keep my eyes open anymore. And like I said, this whole time I had kind of been contemplating telling Cody about it, because I didn't want to, not upset him, but like make him nervous to where he called off his workers, and then like at 9 o'clock they're done. Like I would have felt really bad because he's in the process of a huge job. So, so at like 7 o'clock, I kind of like quietly came back into bed, and he rolled over. And I was like, hey, just to let you know, I've been having contractions like for the last 7 or 8 hours now. I haven't slept at all, so I'm going to try to go to sleep. So at 7 o'clock, I went to bed, and I wasn't woken up by contractions, which is a good sign. Because if you've had contractions, you know you're not sleeping. I'm not done. You're not sleeping if you're having intense contractions. And then I had a little bit yesterday, because this was Monday night going into Tuesday. I had a handful yesterday. And then none. So I don't really know what was going on. Maybe my body was like, maybe we will, maybe we won't. Let's see, let's trick her, let's freak her out. Because even though I am scheduled to have a cesarean, obviously my body can go into labor anytime. So yeah, we'll see. I don't really know.
Don't forget to hit the like button.
Ella wants to let you know to make sure you hit the like button. So yeah, so that was a little bit crazy on Monday. Maybe my kids were just trying to give me my very first heart attack. Because it's scary, you know, it put a lot in like perspective, like holy shiz, we could be having these kids today, you know, like it really made me think more intense about the situation. Obviously I am thinking about it, and again, I am fully, Ella, please don't, I am fully aware that I have 2 children coming into this world any day now. Can you quit? But when the contractions started on Monday, I was like, you know what? Oh my God, it's happening. Like, this is real. This is real life. So yeah, so that's been.
Don't forget to hit the like button.
So that's what's been going on. I haven't really been doing a lot. I've been, ever since the doctor said, you know, you could have them pretty much anytime. Can you quit it? I was like, okay, time to chill out, time to take this time and make sure I have these last days where it's just my daughter and I, to really soak up that time with just Ella and I, because it's really important. And I think that's been really hard for me too. And I think I'm going to make another video here in a little bit and upload that one maybe tomorrow. To talk about all of that stuff, because it's just a lot, but that's gonna be a different video. So yeah, so I'm gonna make sure that the comments work on this one. If you have any more questions, we are literally down. Thank you. We are literally down to any day of having these kids, and I'm trying to fit in all the vlogs that I can, and the Wi-Fi people finally came this morning, and I was like, thank you, baby Jesus. The babies didn't come yet. We can still get some vlogs loaded. So yeah, so if you have any questions, feel free to comment. I have linked my Instagram and my Facebook, I think. So if you have any questions, and you don't want to comment, maybe it's like more of a personal question or a more of a private question, feel free to send me a message. I think that's it. So don't forget to hit the like button. So like I said, tomorrow I go for my first weekly appointment. So I will fill you guys in then. Thank you so much for watching my 35-ish, almost 36-week twin pregnancy update. Stay safe and healthy.
I love you.